Hi guys.
Hello everyone.
Welcome back to Betien Vlogs.
Karibu sana. Today we are going to talk about how we move on from a miscarriage.
Yes, we shared with you guys our previous video about our experience, our story about the miscarriage we had, but it would be unfair if we leave it at that without telling you how we were able to move on.
Yeah, for sure.
So in this video, we are simply giving you tips, what worked for us, what can work for you too, or for anyone you know that is going through a miscarriage or has gone through a miscarriage before, so that they can be able to move on with life and be at peace.
Yes, we can give you some tips from us.
Yeah, so stay tuned and listen to what we have to say. So we'll simply talk about our experience and what we did in the best way we can to explain to you. And the first thing that we did is to accept the situation. As hard as it is, it has happened, it has happened. It's very hard to tell someone to accept the situation, but when it's coming from yourself inside, you know that it's unfortunate, but you can't take back time. That's what happened, it was meant to happen, it happened.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you accept it, then you're able to start now the healing process.
Even if you are questioning yourself why it happened, how it happened, take your time to heal.
Yeah, and it takes time. By the way, you can't put a time on it. You can't say 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, you know. Some people will even take 1 month and they're good.
Yeah.
Others will take 9 months, others years. So just go according to your pace and make sure you heal both physically, that is the wounds after the miscarriage, emotionally, you know, because you at that time you're very emotional, you're crying, you're thinking, why me? You know, and it takes time to get over that. And even mentally, because your mental state at that time is not very clear. You know, when you are expecting to get a child.
Yeah, you are very happy.
Yeah.
The joy is continuous, and then suddenly it stops.
Yeah. So really, you need to take your time and heal without pressure. The second thing you can do is to support each other as a couple. You're in this together, as much as it's the lady who went through like the physical part of it, but also there's the emotional bit that the husband goes through. As a wife, you may think, okay, it's me who went through this, it was painful, it's emotional, but even the husband was expecting a baby out of it. So in the end, the best thing you can do is to be there for each other. First of all, start by talking about it. Both the husband and the wife speak up.
Speak up, talk about it. So you have to schedule if you want, or like during dinner or lunch, you can talk about it. Yeah,
and when that happens, you know you're not in it alone. But when you just go quiet, because there's always that temptation to like, I don't want to talk about it, let's go, let it just be. But when you let it be, you don't know what's going through the guy's mind or the lady's mind.
Yes,
you know?
for sure.
Yeah, so and then you can also try to support each other in that you take each other out of the space of thinking so much about the miscarriage.
Yeah, you can go out to do some work in the park.
Yeah.
You can go for a trip, small or long trip.
Yeah.
A vacation.
Yeah.
You can cook also for your wife.
Yeah, like fun things that distract your mind.
Yes.
Like for our case, for example, I think after that we had a summer vacation.
Yes.
Where he planned for a trip outside of Bodo, and it was just a good time to just, you know, as much as you're sad, you're trying to bring up your moods. And also when you're able to spend time with other people, let's say if it's your friend or your family, you talk about other things. Don't feel the pressure to tell people when you're not ready, because you might feel, okay, because we are meeting friends, we want to tell them, but you might not be at that point where you're ready to talk about it. But when you spend time with them, you just get distracted, talk about other things in life, try to avoid the children topic as much as possible. Or if you have to talk about it, you know, just talk about it normally until you get to that point when you are ready to open up.
Yeah. If you open up, guys, you can open to your parents or someone close to you.
Exactly.
Who will feel something and not open to somebody who will not have feeling for this moment.
Scenario. Yeah, that's actually brings us to the third point, whereby don't die alone or just the two of you feeling depressed and not talking about it. It's hard to talk about it. Like for me, for example, I could not talk about it without me crying to people that I knew. So I think it even took more than 5 months before I could open up to even a friend. But at this time, at least I had my sister I could talk to, and a very good friend of mine who we used to even talk to and pray together. So this one or two people that you're able to open up with to, if it's your parent, if it's your brother, someone close, who will not judge you, who will not just take it lightly, because there are some people who will not be sensitive to the matter. That's just the reality. But if you know the kind of character someone has and how you two relate, you can choose the people to open up to, and they will help you to heal. Yeah. The other thing you can do is pray. Let me tell you guys, it is very hard to pray once you've come out of such a situation. Especially when you are praying before, you are praying for it, you are believing, then it happened, then you are praying to cover your baby, of course, and your pregnancy. And then it happens, you feel like God disappointed you. That's how it felt for us.
Yes, me too. I was so disappointed, not mad at God, but so disappointed. Why us? Because before we were praying for our pregnancy, for our new life with his baby. So I was so shocked and disappointed. Yeah, and you just don't find the strength. By the way, when you even think about praying, you just want to cry. I remember that time, it was a very hard time. But then, when I opened up to one of my friends, I remember that is the one thing that made me open up to one of my friends, who's a very prayerful, good friend of mine. She knows herself. She's called Naomi. I won't mention the other name. If you're listening, thank you so much for studying with us. Because she used to pray with me. She used to pray with us. I'm telling you, she used to just, I think some people are just God sent. So when you have someone who can pray with you, either your parent, or if one of you is strong, like if your husband is strong, they're able to pray with you, and with time you start, your faith gets rejuvenated, and you start praying about it. And also in our case, I remember, because it was very hard in the beginning to pray, at some point my husband actually got back to the prayer stronger than I did. Yeah, because of, I remember this part of my life. I was just reading a gospel. So it was about God open doors for you. He will not give up on you. So I was like, yes, maybe God didn't open this door for us, but next time He will open a bigger door. And so let's not blame God for these things. Everything happens for a reason. It may be hard in the beginning, but just bounce back and know that God has a good reason for you. Yes, for sure. And about this topic about God, I have a small story to tell you guys. It's about a dad and his new born. So he was waiting for long for a boy. He wanted for so long a boy, but at the beginning he got one girl. So he was not disappointed, but happy to get a child. And then the second child was a girl again. So from that time he was so disappointed, and he was sad. At that time he had an appointment at the Twin Towers on 11th September 2001, and at the same time his boy was being born. Guess what? The guy cancelled the meeting to be with his wife at that time because he was a boy. He wanted so much a boy. So he went to the hospital, and at the same time the meeting, guess what? The meeting was in the Twin Tower in New York. And the date was September 11th. So we all know about, I mean, if you don't know about the story, there was a big bomb blast. Terrorist bomb blast. So you see, it's like God saved him using that specific moment. He could have gotten that son a long time ago, but he had to get this son at this time. So he gets saved from being, from dying from the bomb blast, and at the same time, he goes to receive his son who is being born. So I think that's a lesson really. It can encourage us. Yes. Even if you want something so much, but God is not giving you this thing today, He will give you after. At a very, very convenient time, at His best time. At His best time. Always. God's time is the perfect time on earth. So the other thing is to look online for experience. This is actually the easiest way
because you don't have to talk to people, you don't have to know who you are talking to, but you're able to read those experiences. For example, if you come to watch our story, we are at a point where we've kind of found peace in ourselves, and it can encourage you even without you speaking up about your situation. For our case, we also got so many people on YouTube. Just search miscarriage or miscarriage story or how to move on from miscarriage. You'll find that there are so many people who are willing to share helpful information, who are willing to even support you. Like we have applications, we have groups where people talk about their experiences, their testimonies. So this is able to really help you. Just knowing that I'm not alone, someone else is going through it, someone else had a victory after it, someone else, even had a much harder experience, because we've had people who've had 1, 2, 3 miscarriages continuously. It's really heartbreaking. But at the same time, when they share this information, it helps us to also know we are in the same space, but there's hope at the end of the tunnel.
Yes, there is hope. And don't forget, the fact you got pregnant at the first time, it gives you hope. You will be pregnant the next time because the fertility is here.
Yeah, it's like a proof. It's like something positive. Actually, even I think our doctor told us that to look at the positive side of it. Yes. The fact that it happened once, it should give you hope that okay, so it can happen. Okay, we can try a second time. And which reminds me of this point whereby someone asked me in the previous video, like what causes miscarriages, and she was really trying to understand, because there's been a lot of miscarriages happening. So we did a lot of research at that time. We asked our doctor, we asked even more than 6 doctors, because when we were going to the hospital, each time we were meeting a different doctor, a different nurse, and we were all trying to find out what happened. Yeah. So the doctor told us the first miscarriage, they can never do a test to tell you this is what caused the miscarriage, because first miscarriages mostly are spontaneous. It just happens, like the body gets rid of the baby because of maybe chromosomal issues, or like the doctors also don't know the reason for it. But if you have a first, second and third miscarriage, that's when they'll say there's something wrong somewhere, and then they will take you in to do further tests. Like they will check, maybe you have lupus, is a condition that affects your immunity, maybe your body is fighting the pregnancy, or maybe you have PCOS. There are many other causes, but before you get to this point, you must have had like 3 miscarriages for you to do that. So if you just found out that you miscarried for the first time, let it give you hope that you are able to get pregnant again for a second time. And don't worry about what if I miscarry again the second time. The worry is there, that's for sure. Yeah. The worry is there at the back of your mind, but you will cross the bridge when you get there. Yeah. Lastly, avoid negative energy. Like there's a lot of negative energy from people around you who don't even know your story. You'll find that for me it was such a coincidence. When we were going through this time, many people were asking me at that time, people who we don't even talk to like frequently, and they were busy asking me, when are you getting children? It kind of gives you that feeling of there's some sort of pressure that comes with it. I understand that there are people ask not in a bad way. Some people ask just simply because you're married, maybe they're expecting you to have children. But if you're watching this video, just know that if you're not close to someone, if you don't relate in that way, they're not your brother, your sister, or even your very close friend, kindly resist from asking such personal questions. It does not come across well, especially if they are going through such a scenario. So for me, what I did, I just avoided negative energy. Like if someone was to ask me that, I wouldn't want to force myself to explain myself to them. I'll just be like, I think when the time comes, we'll share. Right now, we are not ready to share about pregnancy and baby and all these things. Yeah, so if you are watching, not in a bad way, very humbly, please resist from asking people when they are going to get kids. When they do, they will tell you, unless you're very close. Unless you are very close,
but even if you are very close, it's personal life. We don't share the bedroom, so
we'll decide when we want to open up.
Yes.
Yeah, so with time you get better and you get to a point where you are able to open up. Like for us, we've gotten to a point where we actually are able to sit down in a video and to share and to also tell our parents, our brothers, our sisters, this is what happened, without crying or without getting to
try
that point.
to not cry.
Yeah, try not to cry, but it's okay if you have those emotions.
Yeah, it's normal. You are human. You are not a robot.
Yeah.
Me, I used to be a robot before the pregnancy, but after it was difficult to have
to like suppress your emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's okay. It's okay to cry.
Yeah.
It gets better. So guys, I hope you learned something from this video, and I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to tell us in the comment section if you said something that you feel you need to comment about, or to clarify, or to even correct us. If you say something that is not right, feel free to comment in the comment section. Write us a message on Instagram or on Facebook, and as usual, do not forget to like this video and subscribe so that you can get more upcoming videos.
Yes.
So thank you so much for joining us. See you in the next one.
See you.
Bye bye.